We're here with Giulietta and Luca from Tuscany, and we're just going to wait a few minutes while everybody starts to kind of get into the Zoom call. But it's so fun to see returning faces and new names, and it's so nice that everyone's here. If everyone doesn't mind just putting their mute button on, that would be really helpful. And ciao, Sheila, Aubrey, Hallie, Betty, Diana, Michelle, Bob. I think my parents might be here too. And oh, look at what a beautiful table somebody's preparing up there. That's so nice.
All kinds of things.
Oh my gosh, I wish I was in that room over there. Wow. Oh, that's Ashley, Giulietta, who came to have dinner with you last September. I think they're recreating your dinner that you guys had. That looks gorgeous. Hi, piacere, benvenuti.
Ow. Should you start?
Okay, so people will slowly start to come in, which is great. I want to welcome everybody back that was with us for the last tasting, which was in Umbria, and welcome everybody who was here for the first time. We're super excited. We're going to virtually travel to Tuscany, to Poggio Grande, with Giulietta and Luca. They are amazing, special people, father-daughter team. We fell in love with them and their wines and their winery, and just everything about them is amazing. I can't wait to introduce you to them. If anybody has any questions, please put them in the little chat box at the bottom. Just write them. Our marketing director, Kate, is going to be reading them off at the end of the tasting, and it's fun to be able to ask questions directly to the winemakers. And with that, Giulietta, Luca, buonasera. It's 8 o'clock their time, so buonasera.
Buonasera a tutti.
Please start us off with however you'd like. Do you want to give us a little history? And we'll start trying the wines.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's a pleasure to see you. I am Giulietta and my dad Luca, my boss. So our winery, it's a very small winery. We are in the heart of Val d'Orcia, in the heart of Tuscany. I say that our place is one of the best places in the world. Of course, it's one of the most beautiful in Italy. So we are a family-run business, and my family has our house, our Poggio Grande house, since more or less a century. But in our past, we had my grandparents. They had a typical Tuscany farm with animals like cows, sheep. They produced the typical cheese and meat, and they had olive trees to make olive oil, and they had, of course, a small part of vineyard, but it was our last culture, because however we are in the middle between three big neighbors. We have Montalcino in front of our hill, in front of our house, and we have Nobile di Montepulciano and Chianti, the Chianti area around our place. So I think that everybody knows that district, but our district that's called Orcia, probably it's very new for you, and because it's the youngest denomination in Tuscany, that was only 20 years ago when my dad started to produce wine. Because however, in my family nobody bottled the wine for this reason, because we have three big districts very, very close to us. So when my dad decided to try to produce wine in our area, he planted a small part of vineyard to try for hobby, and his first production in 1999 was 700 bottles. So we had a very small room that Hemi and Steve know very well, where he started to produce wine, where he had only two barriques and one small tank. And only with that tank and barrique, he produced the first vintage of Piano that we have in tasting today. So we are growing. We are planting every year a new vineyard. We are building now a new cellar and a new tasting room. So it's a wine. Our winery is growing, and now we produce around 30,000 bottles. That is, however, a very small production, but it's enough because we have a lot of work, because however for us it's very important to follow each process by ourselves. So we are in the vineyard every day, we are in the cellar every day, and we are harvesting the grapes. So it's the most important moment for us, and in this moment was for the new wine for the next year that I hope that you can testing next year or in 2-3 years, of course. So I work with my dad since 10 years, and I'm growing up in the vineyard with him. I learn a lot with him. I studied chemistry, but I learn a lot with my dad and with our enologists. So it's our work, of course, but it's our passion. So I hope that you can testing not only the wine in your glass, but our passion, our idea, our philosophy. So I think that we can start to testing something. If you are ready.
Let's do it. Yeah. You want to start with the Tagete, which I've already tried.
Yeah. So you know that in the Tuscany, it's famous for the red wines, but we are very particular people. So my dad liked to try to make some different wine, and for this reason, some years ago, he planted two French white variety that are Marsanne and Roussanne, because we have in our place a small part where we have a particular terroir. That is a clay terroir. It's a white soil. It's a soil that is rich of fossil, and it's perfect to make the white wine. So it's a very small piece, and for this reason the production of our white wine is very small, because we produce only around 2,000 bottles per year. So I say that it's a limited edition and it's a very particular wine, not only because it's a white in Val d'Orcia, but because we make a particular process to make this wine. So we harvest, of course, by hand. We harvest everything by hand, and we select each grape, and we select each fruit we have a table with 4 people, and we select each fruit, only the perfect fruit, and this is the most important thing to make a good wine. Then we use a press with the nitrogen, and it stays on the skin with the dry ice for 36 hours. It's a typical French process. It's unusual for our area, and with this process we can make a complex wine. So after the fermentation, that we use the barrel, the French barrel, French barrique, and to know for the fermentation and to age this wine. It stays in the barrel, in barrique, for 6-8 months, more or less, depends of the vintage, of course. So for this reason, you can see that the color is, of course, cheers. It's a gold color. It's very rich, very intensive, And when you put your nose on the rim of the glass, it's very elegant. And each time that you smell, you can smell different flavors and different aromas. It's a very, very elegant, very fine. So,
Oh, delicious.
and it's a wine that you can keep in for a while. That is particular for a white wine that is made in in our area, because usually the white wine in Tuscany is very easy, very drinkable, but it's very light. While I say that this white wine it's like a red wine with a white dress. So, and when you the taste, with the tasting, it's very full in your mouth. It's very salty, and this is from these characteristics. It's from the soil, so we can extract a lot different aromas from the soil. It's very, very elegant. Yeah, I love this wine, of course.
Me too. I love this wine.
No question about it.
One of my favorites.
Very nice, Julita.
Thank you. So if you put your nose 2-3 times in the rim of the glass, you can smell a lot different aromas. White flower like jasmine, or yellow fruit like peach, yellow peach, pear, and a little bit. It's in the hand of the mouth. You can taste the almond, very sweet.
Wow. Yeah,
What do you think, Amy? It's true?
It's delicious. I love this wine. It's so great. And I've, in my personal experience, this wine evolves as it's opened. It changes. When you first open it, as it starts to really become, it's amazing. It's wonderful. And it's a wine that I don't feel like you have to just have with the typical white meat, fish. I mean, it's a big, robust wine that you could have with anything.
Yeah, it's a very, it's amazing to compare with a lot of different kind of food. Of course, white meat, cheese, aged cheese, but also, for example, truffle, pasta and truffle, or eggs with truffle. It's amazing.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you send us some truffles, please?
Of course. In November, we have the white truffle that is the high quality. We can ship with the wine.
You can
Nice.
smuggle it in.
But it's better if you come back.
Trust me, we can't wait. We can't wait.
Shall we
So nice.
move on to piano?
Okay.
Okay.
Piano. What does piano mean besides what we know it to mean in English?
Yeah, piano means slowly, because it's the first wine that my dad made when he started this adventure. So it's our entry-level wine. Now we have the 2018, and of course we are organic, so that's important. Everything, all our production is organic, and so we believe a lot in our farm, in our winery, and we want to make very natural products. So piano, it's the first wine that my dad made, and it's 100% Sangiovese. So you know that in Tuscany, the Sangiovese, it's the prince. It's our most important grape. You can find the Sangiovese in all the Tuscany, but in Val d'Orcia, it's better, of course. So we make a particular process to produce this wine, because we harvest a little bit early the Sangiovese to have high acidity and a lower alcohol content to make a drinkable wine, a light red wine that is nice to drink immediately. So we don't age this wine in the barrel, we use only the steel tanks. And for this reason, it's very nice to drink this wine also a little bit cooler. So during the summer when it's hot, 12, 13 degrees, it's perfect. It's very, very drinkable. So this is a typical Sangiovese that it's very clear, very pure without the hope. So you can understand very well the characteristics of this grape with this wine. So you can see that the color is purple. It's very, it's not so intensive because Sangiovese has not a dark color, but it's typical. And when the Sangiovese doesn't age in the barrel, it's strong red, an intensive red, a little bit purple in the middle.
Sangiovese is definitely a really important grape in Tuscany. The best of the best wines are made from Sangiovese, Brunello di Montalcino, Nobili di Montepulciano. They're, the king of Tuscany wines are all made from this grape.
Yeah, and to make a good Sangiovese, it's very, very important the soil, because we need to have a poor soil, not a rich soil, because the Sangiovese, it's a grape that make a lot grapes, a lot fruit. So we don't need the quantity, but we need the quality. So for each plant, we have only 4-5 grapes, not more, to have the perfect quality. Perfect quality, for example, for the sugar, for the pH, for the acidity. So we need to select only the perfect grapes that are 4-5, not more.
This is a great one.
It's a one for every day. When you come back to after work and you want to relax with a good glass of red wine, this is perfect.
Yeah, I have this 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay, fantastic, Steve.
Very nice.
Good job.
I love this one.
Yeah.
I love the stories on the others too. The Scorbutico, I think, is one of the better stories, so I'm excited to hear about that again and again and again. But
yeah,
they're all amazing.
It's one of our orchard DOC. So while the Piano and the Tagete, they are 2 IGT Toscana, Scorbutico it's a DOC. So we, the first vintage that we made is the 2006, and it's the same year that in our farm was born our first horse, because we love to make wine, we love to make olive oil, but we love also the horses. For this reason, we have the horse on the label. You can see. And Scorbutico, it's a word that we use a lot in our in Tuscany, and it means grumpy. So somebody called grumpy wine, only for the name, of course. And Scorbutico, it's a blend, so it's not a Sangiovese pure, but there is 70% of Sangiovese inside, and the other 30% it's a blend with Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Merlot. So it's a wine that you can keep in for 7-8 years. It's not so strong. It's the body. It's a strong. This wine is stronger than the Piano, but it's not heavy wine. It's very fruity. very fruity, and you can taste the typical notes of the international grapes, like it's a little bit spicy, it's a little bit balsamic, that are typical shadows of Syrah and Cabernet Sauvignon that we use for 30%. We don't use the same blend every year, because we're testing each barrel during the aging 3-4 times for a year with our enologist. And when we decide that when it's ready for bottling, we try some different blend with me, my dad, and our enologist, and we decide in our idea, in our taste, what is the best blend for the vintage. So, of course, the minimal of Sangiovese is, however, the 60% for our district. However, usually we work with 70% of Sangiovese, 78 or 80, and then we mix with some international grapes.
Okay, Giulietta, we started calling our daughter's name is Frances, and we started calling her Scorbutico after coming to visit you, and so now we call her Scorbutico like every day.
Thank you, fantastic. We love this, of course.
Mm.
Very nice.
Julita, did you tell me one time that you had a horse that did in the Siena Palio?
Yes, the Palio is another passion of our family. Of course, you know that we are very close to Siena, and from 30 years, more or less, my dad has the horses for the Palio race in Piazza del Campo. It's a very particular word, but it's magic. So we had the mom of Scorbutico that raced the horse, the Palio in 1999, and then we have now Scorbutico and his brother and sister in our farm, of course, but for now it's only they stay in our farm. They don't raise the Palio because it's very we are very busy with our work. So, but they have a good life, of course. They have a lot of space for.
I have seen them in their pasture, and it is their view is amazing.
Yeah, of course. We have the picture.
Amy?
Fammi vedere. Eccola.
Yeah, this is the mom of Scorbutico, Silva Quarta, with our jockey. And of course, it's not my dad because the jockey, they are very, very slim, very.
I think he doesn't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, this is Piazza del Campo. It's amazing, of course.
Wow.
That's
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Grazie, Luca.
Prego. So,
This is fine.
oh, this is the Scorbutico. It's perfect with red meat, with ragu, like pasta and ragu, for example, with the typical Italian food, of course, and also, of course, with cheese. And then, the last but not the least, of course, we have the Orcia Sangiovese Sesterzo. Sesterzo, it's the name of the Roman coin that my grandfather found in the ground when he planted with my dad the first vineyard. So it's very important for us. And for this reason, we use only the grapes from that vineyard. So we make this wine with 100% Sangiovese from the vineyard that is at 480 meters above the sea level. And it's our highest and oldest vineyard where we have the best production. So Sesterzo, it's our most important wine. It's our biggest production. And it aged for 36 months in the barrel, big barrel and tonneau. And the 2015, the vintage that we have now, it's one of the best vintage that we made. So it's very after the 2014 that was very difficult, the 2015 was perfect. So it's a strong wine. It's a very full wine in the mouth, and it's very rich. It's a wine that you can keep in for a while. So this is our Prince, our more typical wine, the Sangiovese that aged for a very long time in the barrel. So you can see the different color of the first Sangiovese, the Piano. Piano, it's red, it's purple, while this one is red in the middle, in the center, in the heart, but in the end, when you put the glass in this position, you can see that you have a different shadows that is a little bit more brown. And this is typical of the Sangiovese that age for a long time in the barrel.
This
And
is
we are very proud that last week we received an award like one of the best 100 wine in Italy from a wine magazine.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
For all of your wines.
I was just about to say, Luca and Giulietta, that this is in a really hard to get spot in our cellar. So I don't try it as often as I should. I haven't had this in maybe 3 weeks, but I have to tell you, I'm going to get to the hard to reach spots now. This is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, she keeps it out of my reach.
Okay, perfect.
It's very, very
It's
nice.
a special wine.
Yes, it's special also for us because I say that when a person drink a glass of this wine everywhere, he or she think at our place, our Valdorcia. You can find the Valdorcia in this glass, and this is very important. You can recognize that this wine is made in Tuscany, in Valdorcia, in Poggio Grande, of course.
Wow. Yeah, it's delicious.
Here you have a lot of different flavors, and not only fruit, not only flower. You can taste it's a little bit tobacco or chocolate, black chocolate, a little bit sweetness. However, we like that when we start to sell our wine, they are ready to drink, they are drinkable, and you can find this characteristic in all our wines. They are very drinkable. We produce wine that you can keep in for a while, but that, however, they are immediately ready and drinkable after a few months.
This can stay in your cellar for quite a while. Is that right? For a long time?
Yes, 10 years and over.
Yeah.
Yeah. A vintage like that, like the 2015, has a very long life. And the 2016 Probably it's the same. Not probably, it's the same.
Nice. Have you harvested for this already this year?
No, we have, we just harvested the white grapes, the international grapes, and a part of Sangiovese to make the piano.
Okay.
But we wait probably 2-3 days more if stopped rain to harvest the Sangiovese for the Sesterzo, because we prefer to wait to harvest the best quality of Sangiovese, because we are very hard. So usually we harvest the Sangiovese for the Sesterzo in the end of September or in the beginning of October. This summer was very hot, very dry, and the harvest was early. But now probably tomorrow it's a sunny day. We start to harvest the Sangiovese for our Sesterzo. Yeah.
Is it raining very hard right now? Is that are you worried about the rain right now?
Yes, it's a week that it's a rain week. We need some rain for our grapes because they were very small. So usually in a grape there is the 70% of juice and 30% of skin. This is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
If doesn't rain, we have 50 and 50%, 50 skin, 50% of skin and 50% of juice, and it's a problem for the quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Amazing.
it'll be fun to try them.
This is another of my
Yeah.
favorites.
They're all Amy's favorites.
I mean, I think you guys do such an amazing job, and it's such an honor to be able to import these wines to America and introduce them to everybody here.
It's a pleasure for us.
Had a
Big
chance.
opportunity for us. Thank you so much.
We have only one family here that has actually been to your winery, but hopefully everybody will be able to come and visit you at some point when things are back to normal. But it's such a magical place.
Thank you so much. And we hope to have ready very early our new terrace, our new tasting room for everybody, because then it's a very magic place. Yeah.
That is so exciting. Hopefully we can get some photos and I'll put them up on the website because it's really an exciting project.
Yeah, of course. We'll start to build this week because with the lockdown we stopped, of course, and however, we are lucky because during the summer we worked very well with the tourists. Of course, we missed the people from the United States, but we had a lot Italian people, and we worked very, very well. And we hope that for the next spring, the new terrace and the new testing room, it will be ready for you and for all the people that want to come to visit us.
Absolutely.
That is so exciting.
Yeah, for us too.
Giulietta, when we came to visit in September, we went to maybe 15 or 20 different vineyards, but we all agreed that our favorite place to go was to see you and to meet Luca and try the Nocino, and it was just
I remember.
Yeah.
it was the best experience we
Teo.
had. And Teo, of course.
E manca.
Yeah.
I took pictures of some of your grapes and had them. I hung them on my stairs. These are from your vineyard.
Wow, it's amazing.
Oh, so
We
cool.
felt so welcome there, and we've been really worried about you guys with the pandemic and shutting everything down. We were hoping that you guys were still doing well. So when we got the email that there was a virtual tasting for Poggio Grande, we were so excited.
We wait you the next year.
Oh, nice.
I highly recommend
So happy you guys
everybody
are here.
going there to visit.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, Val d'Orcia is, in my opinion, it's going to be for sure the next Montalcino or Montepulciano. It's still so young. There's a lot of neat things to happen, I believe.
Yeah.
We should see if anybody has some questions while we have a little bit of time. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What do you think,
Moreno,
Kate?
nice to see you.
Oh, Moreno, ciao, benvenuto.
All right, so we do have a couple questions. First of all, we have a question asking, you mentioned that the 2015 was tasting really well for the Sesterzo, and you said the 2014 was difficult. What made it difficult?
That was a very rainy summer, and we prefer in our area the dry summer, the hot summer, because we are high. We are lucky because we have a breeze during all the summer, and we have a good different temperature between the day and the night. This is very important to have high acidity in the wine, and acidity. If you have a good acidity, you have a drinkable wine. During the 2014 was very high the humidity, so and the temperature during summer was around in a range between 20-28 degrees. It's not perfect. So the grapes we select each grapes, and the production, we lose the 40, more or less, no more, yes, 40-50% of our production. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. The next question I have is how many acres, and I know you guys measure differently, but how many acres of land do you have?
So we have 6 hectares of vineyard, 4 hectares of olive trees, because we produce olive oil too. That is very important for us. And then we have 30 hectares, more or less, of wheat, cereal, that we use to produce pasta and farina flour of our organic wheat. Yes, pasta integrale of our organic wheat. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Translate that. My
What's for
developer
dinner
husband,
tonight?
my developer husband can translate the hectares.
What's 2.47 acres
So
to
Yeah.
our each hectare? But wow, their dinner, we had a meal that they prepared for us the last time we were there. That was,
Yeah.
it was course
Amazing.
after course after course after course. And
Ashley
every time
knows
you
what I'm
thought
talking about.
that you were, yeah, Ashley, you know what we're talking about. You think you're done, and it's like, you haven't even started. Wait a minute,
my gosh.
We're not. We haven't even done the second course. I think I've had at least 3. No. It's unbelievable.
And their olive oil is
It's
exceptional.
unbelievable.
Really, really good olive oil.
Unbelievable.
Yes, after the grapes, we have the harvest of the olives. So usually we finish the grapes harvest in the beginning of October, and in the end of October we start to pick up the olives, and we have 2,000 plants. They're too much. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow.
It's very
How
cool.
amazing. That's so cool. The next question we have is, how many whites do you make? Is the Cegette the only white?
Yes, it's the only white wine that we make because we start from the land. If we have a land that is perfect to plant grapes, we make that wine. For this reason, we have in the same vineyard a lot of different grapes, because our place is particular for this reason. In a few meters, we have a different kind of soil, and if you come in our wine, you can see that we have a part of white grapes, where we have a white soil, a Sangiovese in a different soil, where is the Stone Age soil, where we have a rich soil that it's more browny. We have the Syrah, and we can produce the white wine only in that kind of soil that is clay. So we produce only the Tagete. Yeah.
Great. Perfect. Well, it is a delicious white wine. So
Thank you.
you're going to make one. It's perfect. So the other questions we have are about the generations of winemakers in your family. You mentioned your grandparents having land and your father and your grandfather planting grapes. So I guess, how many generations of winemakers did it start with your grandparents?
No, so I am the fifth generation, but only my dad started to make wine. So I am the second generation of winemaker, because my grandparents, yes, they produced some wine, but was the harvest wasn't even for the family. They didn't bottle the wine, was only for family and friends. Was typical in our area to have a small vineyard in the countryside, but my dad started to produce wine, and he founded our district, our orchard district on 14th February of the 2000, so the St. Valentine's Day. Under the lockdown.
That's amazing.
Amazing. It makes it easy to remember the date on a very special day.
Day.
Yeah. Absolutely. We do have another question. I know you mentioned that you started at 10 years old helping your dad, Luca, in the vineyards. So you knew pretty much your whole life that you wanted to follow in his footsteps to become a winemaker?
No, of course, I'm growing up in the vineyard with him and in the cellar, and I remember that when I was young, I loved to test the juice after the harvest when it's a fruit juice, and it was amazing, of course. But I started to work with my dad for hobby during a summer after school, and I was not sure that that was my work. When after 1 year, I decided that this is my work. This is my passion. My dad said, okay, because of course in my I work with the people. I think about the wine tasting with the people. I'm going to the wine event. And my dad said that was too easy for me work with in the best part of our work, of course. And he said that I need to plant my vineyard. So on 2011, during the winter when it was very, very cold, I planted my vineyard, and we planted 6,000 plants in 1 hectare, one by one, yeah, by hands.
Cool.
So it's it's very important for me to understand how is hard this work, how is important to know each plant in to make a good wine, and was incredible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and probably next year we start to sell my wine. Wow. But yes, this is a new.
That's so exciting, though.
Oh my
yeah,
God. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear more about this.
I know.
Probably.
You told me a story when we were there last September, or maybe it was the year before, I can't remember, about how your dad was like, okay, sink or swim. You were in the cantina, he was out in the vineyard, and you were calling him, Dad, what do I do? Figure it out. Best story I've ever heard.
I can't remember when during a harvest, probably.
Yes. Yeah. He left you in charge of everything for the first time, and you were just like Dad kept calling him. He's like, no, you figure it out. And you did.
Yes, was the 2016 one happened, yes, and was incredible because I think that is when during the fermentation, when we harvest, we have we can control the temperature in each tank, so it's very important to control the fermentation process. And they harvest because was the last day, and then start to rain probably for 1 week. So we need to finish that day. And I was alone in the cellar to work and to make we call the remontage. So we pump on the skin to mix in the juice, and the temperature controller stopped. And I was alone, so I, with the water, I called him, please help me because I am alone on the top on the tanks. And the temperature go very high, and it was terrible for the fermentation. Yeah, it's sketch during the harvest. After everything during the harvest.
What an education. You figured it out, though. I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so great. The last comment I have actually is from Diana in Napa, who happens also to be my mom. She just sent me a text message to let me know that she is already starting to plan a trip for our family next year because they really would love to visit you guys. And she just wanted to let you know how much she's enjoying this, and she can't wait to meet you in person. And since I hopefully will be included in that trip, I cannot wait to meet you guys in person. This has been absolutely lovely and very educational.
Thank you. I hope to see you and for next year if the virus.
Yes, me too. Me too. And let's see, does anyone else have any other questions, or is there anything? I know your dad Luca does not speak a lot of English, but is there anything he would like to say or include?
Oh, Luca. Sei troppo
I love being
Oh,
with.
Luca's the best.
I wanted he showed his hands because in this moment I have the clean hands, but he's full of antociani.
Oh, bravo.
Because he was in the cellar from this morning to more or less 1 hour, 1 hour later. Yeah.
Wow.
No, la cosa, ve la dico in italiano, la cosa più bella per noi fare vini, per i nostri clienti che verranno ai nostri vini, è poter dare un'emozione. Cioè per noi la cosa più bella è trasmettere un'emozione attraverso i nostri vini.
Aw. The thing that Luca loves the most is not only just making the wine, but being able to transmit the love and the passion, the emotion that they put into making the wine into the glass, and then having the client be able to taste it and feel it, and not just having this amazing, because their wine is obviously amazing, but there's the layer of the emotion that you get, and that's because they put so much into it, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yes.
Grazie,
definitely.
Luca.
Yeah.
Sei bravissimo. Thank you, Luca.
Sì, sì,
Grazie.
a tutti voi.